situated. How close are we? We are okay, I think. Okay. Yeah, that should be okay. Maybe a little further. Wait. All right. Now I just gotta log into chat. Oops. There we go. Okay. Hello. I'm a couple minutes early. I'm trying to get combobulated here. I have a lot of projects on the go at the moment that I'm trying to, I'm going to try to just do a whole bunch of different things tonight where I hopefully will get a few things further along. So say hello if you're here. I'm probably going to start with a bit of painting for a project that is coming up. Yeah. Alrighty, so I'm just going to jump right in. I know I'm a little bit early, but people will join when they join. So I'm just going to get started with a little bit of this lovely paint. This is a bit of work for the journals that I'm working on right now, but also I think it will translate into digitals as time passes. I'm also hoping I've set all of my paint. I went through a bunch of my paint and like organized it so that I can hopefully like take a look if there is anything that is getting kind of dry. I don't think so. I think most things are okay, but I'm trying to like get a little more into using all the mediums that I have, the bits and bobs that I've picked up over time to make sure that they don't dry out. And we need to get some kind of a painty paper. I've got kind of a partial one here, so I'm going to just rub off the extra paint that I create onto this tonight. Okay. So that is the gold. I want to make some kind of custom colors. This super bright Amsterdam reflex yellow is really pretty. I might just see about using it as it is. Oh yeah, that's really pretty. But then we'll mix it with a little something else to just kind of see what happens. And I've got this lovely tealy matte paint. So I think we'll just do a little mix and see if we can't make an interesting green. That's nice. I think, yeah, I like that. It's kind of bright. There we go. And then I've got some really dark green forest. This stuff is clumpy town. I need to find my, let's put a little bit of that in there. Probably just set that right over there because it's going to be a problem child if I don't. I'll take a little of that green, make like a medium tone. Just swatching up some custom colors. Welcome to those of you who've joined. I hope you're doing well. I have a whole bunch of different projects. I'm probably going to just jump from thing to thing tonight, but my first task is to get these swatches painted. I had a decent day today. I went grocery shopping, which I know is not very exciting, but it was super necessary. And I happily got a giant pomelo, which I love pomelos. I love picking them up at like our local Asian supermarket because they're so enormous. They're like literally, it's like a pomelo the size of like a turkey or something. It's huge. It would be like several meals. You can't sit and eat them at once. It's like a whole family endeavor if you're going to crack into one of those pomelos and expect to eat it one sitting, but I usually will break it apart and then have little bits of it over a few days because I primarily am the pomelo lover in this house, although my daughter quite likes them as well. There we go. Probably going to need to get more water at some point because I always forget that acrylic painting is a lot more mucky than painting with watercolor. You've got to deal with more paint. Although if I remember to use my painty papers, which I should be just grabbing out of my scrap bin, then that will be better. Okay, now I'm going to return back to that light blue because I never actually used it, that tealy blue in its natural lovely state. And then we can come up here and get rid of the excess. I'm surprised I've been doing this kind of like mucking my paint on paper that I previously boiled. And I made really great papers I made some really nice papers that I've been using for ephemera, like backgrounds, things like that in the journals I'm working on, and they really turned out quite nice. So I've been trying to practice this idea of like not wasting any pigment if possible. That's a squidgy brown. It's very dry. Whoops. Now it's like a little mouse poo. Let's get rid of that. Put it back in here. Thin it out a little bit. That's better. Okay. Filmed a Tuesday 10 video today and I had so much fun. Oopsies, doing it. Oh my gosh. I hope you guys will like it because I really like the project I came out with for today's Tuesday 10 filming, which will happen on Tuesday. I have a little more filming to do for this week, but I also should let you guys know there is a really cool project that you can take part in. I'm going to launch a video on, I think, Wednesday. Hi, Crystal. I'm going to launch a project on Wednesday. It is like a design team project for the Junk Journal Studio, and she has collaborated with one of the other members of her design team on like a folio with her spring bounty kit from last year. Oh, no, you're okay. You're not late. Hey, cute orange family. You love pomelos at your house? Good. Aren't they the best? It's like they're the best. They smell so good and they like look delicious. And when you get them really ripe, they just pull apart. I'm honestly fascinated. It's some kind of like ASMR or something to me, how every little kind of bidule of like orange juice inside, it's like they just burst. Like they're just a really, it's like if caviar weren't gross, like in fruit, it's fruit caviar. It's very cool. But yeah, speaking of ASMR, so you guys will have to laugh with me about this. My daughter, so for the last while now, I've actually been sleeping quite well ever since I started taking this stuff. And I'm not trying to like promote or sponsor it or anything. My whole life, I have had pretty yucky insomnia, and it's especially bad when the seasons are changing. And a while ago, I learned about this product actually through like a YouTube video. So I'm guessing that they do sponsor large YouTubers, because I think I saw it on like Bose versus the World or something. Like she's a kind of a criminal justice YouTuber, but she's really funny. She also was like a former gamer, and I like her because she has a lot of good perspectives on women in gaming, and essentially like she has a lot of experience there, and she's very, very fun. So I saw this product called Beam Dream, and it's like this powdered stuff that tastes like hot cocoa, and you drink it before bed, and it's really working for me with my insomnia. It's got like 4 different ingredients. Like I've tried melatonin before and it would help me fall asleep, but like I didn't stay asleep. This stuff has melatonin, which does that part of it. There's kind of like 4 parts of like nighttime sleep, and then there's like magnesium that kind of gets you, I think, into deep sleep, and then there's reishi mushroom that helps with like REM sleep, and there's one other thing and I can't remember what it is, but because I live in Canada, there's another version of it you can get that has hemp in it, but they can't ship hemp from the US to Canada, so I don't get the hemp one. But honestly, I don't need it. Like it's really working for me. So my daughter though, she's really cute because she knows that I struggle to sleep, and so I often will watch like ASMR at night. So a long time ago, I got this book, and it was for her and her brother when he was little. And it's like a little book of all the basic words that little kids, learn to read first. And it's got all of these different textures in it. So let's say one of the words is like rug. There'll be like a little spot on the book that's a little like rectangle, and it'll be fuzzy like a little rug. And then or maybe it's like mouse, but they'll put fur on the back of the mouse. Like it's got lots of textures. So recently she found this book and she's been using it for ASMR. So she's got long nails, unlike her mother, and so she'll like tap her nails on the book, and then like she'll make some sound because it's got like all these crinkly things and like these little plastic beaded things that when you run your nail over them, they make these crackly sounds. Like she's so funny. So I have like an 8-year-old ASMR specialist in my house now, which is kind of cute. I mean, honestly, I really just appreciate her empathy as it relates to me. She's extremely empathetic for my struggles. But no, it's really helped me a lot. So I would say, if you're having trouble and you want to check it out, do. But if you don't want to, don't. I'm not here to sell it. Yay. Okay, so that one's done. I got one more I need, I think, to do that looks the same as that one, because I want to have 2 of these. So let's try to customize another blue here. And I'll start up here again. Oh, I was talking about, I'm sorry, I get a little off track when I'm live streaming. I was talking about the Junk Journal Studio and her collab. So it is called the Spring Bounty. Yeah, she's very sweet. The Spring Bounty Spring Bounty Challenge. Yeah. So the Junk Journal Studio has a Facebook group where it's like fans of the Junk Journal Studio, and you can join that on Facebook if you're on Facebook. And she's going to be like hosting for, I think it's a month long from yesterday. Was yesterday the 15th of March, or is that today? I can't remember. But it's March 15th to April 15th. And it's like, you can get it. I think you purchased this digital for this folio. She shared it with me because I'm on her design team. And you can build this really pretty folio that is spring themed. It's got lots of purples and yellows. It's beautiful. I'll drop my video on Wednesday for it. And so if you post in the group pictures of anything that you make, either making that folio or making something else with parts of that folio, or any of her spring bounty kits, you can post on Facebook, and like you can win prizes. Like, she's really great about giving freebies and stuff too. So there's going to be lots of freebies. So if you're looking for some junk journal freebies, definitely check out that challenge, because there's going to be all sorts of pages that she's going to provide. And I think there will be tutorials and things. I made, and I actually still have, it's still in my shop, the journal that I made with her kit last year. I'm actually surprised that one's still in my shop. It it cracks me up. Sometimes I think something is going to go real quick and it doesn't, and then something I think is going to hang around goes real quick. Like, you never know. It's so funny. When I used to spin yarn all the time, I still spin yarn, but just not as frequently because now all this takes over my brain. But when I used to, and I was on Ravelry, kind of a website dedicated to all things like knit, crochet, all that. I had this group for art yarn spinners, people who spin yarns like I do. And we did this swap one time that was called like the Lost and Lonely. And essentially we swapped with each other, all of these art yarn spinners, like the hand spun skein of yarn that we had hanging around our shops the longest. Like, it never sold. We don't know why. There's nothing, that makes it unsellable, but like, it's a Lost and Lonely. So I got a really, really pretty yarn out of it too. And I made a hat with it, and it was really, really nice. Okay, I like that green. Talking to my mom today, and I'm like really happy with my mom, because she used to be a bit of like, so she's always been kind of social, but also she's a bit of a hermit. She has a little bit of social anxiety, and she's like kind of the most I don't even know how to explain her. Like, she's the most kind of naive, innocent person, like very sweet. And funny in a lot of different ways. And so she was telling me, so like about almost a year ago now, she started this thing where she's walking every single day. And she didn't do that for a long time, right? And, as your parents get a little older, I think we all kind of worry about how, how's their health and how are things going to be for them, as they age and all that. I think it's like a part of mortality that we all kind of think about. And, I think sometimes looking at how your parents are doing as they age, it makes you reflect a little on how you'll be doing, It does for me anyways. And so she's so funny because like she's just loving her walks still after a year. And so yesterday I was talking to her, and my father was outside working on his car. My dad is a mechanic by trade, no longer working, but he fixes up his own car when things are that either something's gone wrong or he wants to like soup up his little car. He's really funny. So she said, I was out for 5 hours yesterday and I slept like a baby. It was so good. And I still took my walk because she was outside. Like, she doesn't like to let my dad like work by himself outside because, if he got too hot or something, she just likes to dote on him because my dad's kind of a problem child. He's, I would say, reckless in a lot of ways that a lot of men are reckless. Like, he is the poster child for that, like, this is why men die first. Like, this is my dad. Like, so I don't know if I ever told you guys the story about my dad falling in the park and his thumb getting hurt. Let me know if I haven't told you, just send me a sign and I'll tell you, because it's kind of funny. But if I have, I won't repeat myself. But yeah, he's a problem child. Like, he has a workshop that's actually in a basement of this building my parents live in and have managed for 40 years now, this 1800s building in my hometown, and they absolutely love it. This historical building, my parents are so obsessed and committed to this building. They're like historians and caregivers of this building. So it's a little bit like there's a lot of quirks to it because of its age. Okay, I'll tell you guys after this. So my dad's workshop, it's like probably my dad is almost, I would say almost 6 feet tall. And then there's about like this much, probably a good foot and a half, where the doorway is not as tall as him. So you need to, like, it's like one of those churches you need to kind of bend down to get into. So I cannot count on one hand how many times my dad has smucked his head. Like, I'm surprised he doesn't have a permanent like dent in his forehead from smucking into this thing, because he gets so excited about whatever he wants to do, like, because he has this workshop and he wants to go do something in it, and he just trucks into that doorway, and he has bonked his head so many times. He's had to get stitches. Like, he's just crazy. And I always say to him, like, did you knock any sense into yourself this time? Because he deserves the bad jokes. But yeah, he's unreal. And so this one time, we have a little park down the road. And he was running. He was trying to hurry to get over to his friend's house who lives behind the park, because they were doing something one day, twiddling around with something. My dad's a very machinist type person. He has an engineer's brain, and he can build anything. He can make anything. Like, you need machined parts or something, my dad can do it. And he's totally self-taught. Like, he's really cool that way. So he's running through the park, and my dad has a back injury, a lifelong back injury, because when he was in his early 20s, he was at work and a coworker accidentally dropped like a very large kind of like compressing machine sort of on him, and it broke his back. So he spent the first 2 years of my life in traction in a hospital in Toronto, which was about 2 hours from our home. And so it was a really hard and weird way for things to go for him. So he has weakness in his back still. And so he had a little, like, his back gave out, which happens sometimes in the park. So he fell down, but the way that he fell, he drove his thumb into the ground. So, like, he pulled it back out again. And like, he went to the hospital because it was hurting after a couple of days, because this is my dad. And so when he got to the hospital, the nurse was a little strange and not terribly, I'd say, knowledgeable. And she got it in her head that what was under his fingernail was blood, when it wasn't. It was dirt. But she thought it was like a bang injury where, like, you hurt your thumbnail and you can have blood trapped under it. So, I don't know if they still do this in hospitals, but this feels very medieval to me. Her idea was to, like, heat up a needle to poke a hole in it to release the blood, but, like, it wasn't blood. So, yeah, that's how it ended up for him. He ended up, like, they basically had to remove, like, half the nail and, fix it all up and all that, and he was okay. But, oh my goodness, but we always, like, talk about my dad and we laugh. I think it's kind of almost like dark humor to tell it to other people, but, like, if you're around him, you will get it, because there's, like, this familiarity that happens with him getting hurt, and it's just, like, we can't handle it anymore. Like, we're losing it with him getting hurt all the time. Thankfully, most of it's silly and minor, and hopefully it stays that way, because, yeah, he will wear on your heartstrings real quick. Okay, let's just use up the rest of that paint. Now, I think that's good for what I want to do with those. I'm going to move on to something else. I do have other things I want to paint, but I just feel like I want to move on to something else. I'm going to just pour my water over here and get rid of my little mess here. And then set my paints off to the side here. Whoopsies. Come here, little bag. There they are. Just move these. I just have a little crate on the floor that these came from. They go into my little stack of paint crates. Hello from Winnipeg. That's awesome. I haven't been to Winnipeg since I was a little kid. Okay. Yeah, I decided finally to just, I've been going live with my Patreon for, I guess probably a month and a half now on Sunday nights, and I decided to just finally go live to YouTube in general, because why not? How's the weather in Winnipeg? I know my friends who live there, you know, everyone when I was a kid, they used to call it Winterpeg because there was so much cold and snow and all of that. I haven't had anyone I know that lives in Winnipeg in quite some time, but I do know that it is also very beautiful. So next thing I think I'm going to try to get into a little bit is I have this plan to use my latest digital kit with this book, which is really pretty. It's like really nicely embossed. And then I've got some jelly prints. So I think I might do some chopping of these. Yeah. So this is my latest kit. I can kind of quickly run through it for you. Yeah, I've got his minor scratches too. He is pretty awesome. He's like very majestic in his way of just being able to, like, if you break something and you're like, oh gosh, you know, if it's your car, it could be your camera, it could be anything. He will make it better somehow. I can say my dad is like so good at that. I very much depend on his brains for a lot of things. So this is my latest digital kit that I just released in the shop. It is 16 pages, I think, 8 main pages and 8 backgrounds, journal pages and backgrounds. And it's called Palette Rosa. And I had a lot of fun making it. And because this is my own kit, I sort of did this in response to, like, I can't get those darn Tim Holtz papers here. They're all sold out and they're not making anymore. So I was like, you know what? It's okay. I can survive without them. I can make my own digitals. I don't need to, like, be so stressed about not being able to get those papers. And because I made them myself, I can put toads in them. So I have a toad in this one. And I like how they turned out. They came out really fun and different, I think. And it's just kind of making me want to, like, work in palettes and things, like, you know, and I get to kind of use a lot of the work that I do in different ways in a new way. So, like, these are from my rusty carbonized papers that I make, and I've been able to scan this and then change the color and then add, you know, writing from vintage documents that I have and my own palette swatches, and, you know, like, it really allows me to put my signature on things. So yeah, I'm pretty happy about how these turned out. It's got me using up a lot of different things that I otherwise may not use. And I also realized I have a lot of cool vintage stuff. So, like, yeah, why not use it? And also I got to make it a little Canadian. Vive la Canadienne. This is from some vintage music. And more of those leaves, the rusty carbonized leaves, and then this is some fun embroidery, and I ended up scanning the actual embroidery. Toads and strawberries. Yeah, right? And there's some pretty maple seeds, and yeah, I just think they turned out fun. And then the backgrounds, I mean, normally I would print them on the actual backs, but I didn't because I wanted to be able to just kind of show these. So this is the first of the backgrounds, and then we have a light leafy one, and I toned these all, like, down a little so that you can write on them. They're not too dark. spatters, and like this is from just painting, and I just kind of like use my palette knife and scrape paint and stuff, so it comes out pretty cool. A little bit of cedar in this one, and some apples, just nice apples, and strawberries, and some nice plants. I just kind of impressed those behind this fabric pattern. Oh my goodness, why am I forgetting the name of this? It's not pinking, it's oh no, where's Mary Ellen when I need her? There she is. Hi, Mary Ellen. And then some more birds and these little, this is cute. It's like the leaves are tucked into these little slots in the paper. Pinstripe, thank you. And some wallpaper. So yeah, that turned out fun. Another thing that I should mention while y'all are here is I did post to YouTube and Instagram about I have finally done like a design team call, because like I'm really feeling like I want to do more like digital work. I think it's really inspired by the fact that I've really organized a lot of my vintage ephemera. And I've been doing a lot of physical hand, like painting and handwork and stuff, including stitching with like really old threads and fabrics. And I'm just trying to create things that will make like nice design texture. So I'm going to need people other than myself to help me kind of show what I've made, so that people might want to pick up the digitals, because I just don't have time to do all of it, and I get possessed by certain projects, and typically my journals take quite a while to make, and we just don't have time for all that. Hi, Christine. So for everyone here, just letting y'all know, because I'm sure my Patreon friends are here, I haphazardly went live publicly tonight. So rather than just on Patreon, so we're going to just jump in. And I won't be a nervous Nelly about everything, hopefully. I'm okay though. I think I feel like I've had enough practice with my lovely Patreon community to feel like I can do this. Because those first ones are a little dicey. I had to come back and say, uh-oh, I goobered it up. Here's a new link. But we're okay. So just going to trim off these edges, and then I don't know. I'm trying to decide if I'll end up using that actual vintage book or if I will use something different. I got a little bit of work done today on a project that I'm doing to try to sort out my whole fabric. I'd say closet, but it's kind of like a hallway of closets that I've built. And yeah, we got a little bit done. You're right, Mary Ellen. Thank you. I was learning. It was good because like it's not hard to go live on YouTube, but there's actually a lot of things that you can muck up. It's simple little things, and some of them you can't fix. It's no good. Like if you accidentally, if you're filming on an iPad, you have to set your setting to horizontal instead of vertical filming. Because if you forget, you have to end the live. You can't fix it later. But it is what it is. And then one time I set it to members only, and I don't even have YouTube memberships active. Well, I did at the time. I do now for a couple folks who asked me if I could activate them. So at the time I didn't even have them though. So I was just, you know, having a grand old chat with myself for a few minutes. I really need to tighten up the screw in this arm on this thing. One of these days it's going to chop off my finger. Well, no, it's not actually. It's not that sharp. It is sharp, but it's not heavy, I should say. It's a light arm, so it can't crash down and maim me, but I really should tighten it, because one of these days I'm gonna like pinch myself with it maybe. I also don't remember if I locked my door to my studio tonight. I usually lock myself in here when I'm live streaming. Bye, Christelle. It was so good to see you. I hope you have a lovely, lovely evening or day. Yeah, so if one of the kids comes down and starts talking to me, it's my own fault. Although they're kind of funny when they come down here. My daughter spends lots of time down here because she has a whole little workspace down here with her computer, and she does a lot of art down here. My son is a bit more of a calamity because he's a little young still to be down here fully, but he's down here some of the time. He's kind of getting his bearings still. He needs lots of entertainment, so he's a little tricky to be down here. But school is back in tomorrow. And it's kind of like a happy, sad situation. I honestly had a lot of fun hanging out with them over the March break. But like, yeah, I think also they do need to get back to school. Not just because it's like a little more, you know, engagement and parenting that has to happen. Also, I think they're just kind of wanting to go back. My son definitely has been saying like, can I go to school today? So he loves school. He has a lot of fun. Kindergarten is so fun these days. Like, I mean, I don't really have a lot of memories about kindergarten because I think it's kind of on that cusp of like what a lot of people, when you're 5, like what you remember. I think some people remember it better than I do, but I mean, his kindergarten is so cool. Oh, you missed that it was March break. Oh, that's okay. You didn't go anywhere that that is rammed with kids. I can tell you that the old folks at the gym were like not happy because they're so used to having like their peace and quiet. Oh, it's funny. Although they're all really nice. They're especially like super nice to my kids anyways, but the pool is like jam-packed with kids instead of just being for the lane swims and, you know, all the older folks soaking in the hot pool. The community center. We run into so many nice people though at the community center. I love libraries and community centers. It's just such a good vibe of people all the time. Most of the time, I should say. Not all the time. But... okay. And today I finished, so I'm becoming a scouter in Scouts Canada. And today I finished my very last thing I had to do, my wood badge. So I'm proud of myself for getting that all done. Yeah. I have managed to finish so many administrative tasks in the last couple weeks. But I have another weird administrative task to do. So my husband, for those of you who are unaware, he's American, and he moved here to hang out with me and do all the stuff. And so right now, you know, we were debating if he's going to get his citizenship, and he is, but he's had a PR card. PR cards, permanent residency cards, are good for 10 years, and then you have to just renew them. You're still a permanent resident, but you need the card, right? You need the ID. So we applied for and sent it out like probably a year ago. And ever since then, ready? Rip. ever since then, it's been a huge hassle. So like you can submit these things online, and we did, but then they sent it back to us complaining about the picture. So we resubmitted it, and I'm like, what could be wrong with the picture? It's literally done by a professional passport photography studio. Like what can they possibly mess up, right? So I was like, okay, that's silly, but we resubmitted it with the same picture, and it was fine. Then you log into this portal to check the status, and like it went into this weird state that it just said processed, but like we never got the PR card. We never got anything. So I thought, okay, well, we can go into Service Canada, and talk to them. And like, it used to be that like you had to give a few months before you really reacted to like, not receiving it, because this is the government and everything takes forever. So then we went in to Service Canada, and they said, oh, well, we can't help you. You need to go, you need to contact like border services, Canada, immigration, border services, whatever. And no, they don't have physical locations. So you got to, deal with them online. So like, the portal, it doesn't help at all. Yeah, you can definitely ask a random yarn question, Christine. I'm sure, 10 and 13, I'm sure they don't really want to go back. And yeah, I know what you mean. Like, I want my quiet time back, I think, a little bit. So anyways, we were like trying to figure things out on the portal, couldn't get anywhere. And like my husband had called several times, and the system they have is so bizarre. Like, they basically don't answer you. Like you call and you get put on this big giant hold for a long time. And then eventually, it just says like, you've called, we can't talk to you right now. Bye. It's like it hangs up on you. So he went through that several times and finally got through to someone, and she was actually really helpful. But the more concerning thing is, so like when you get a passport in Canada, it's sent registered mail because it's obviously important. People can do fraud with that kind of identification. But apparently with the PR card, which is essentially the same strength of document, it gets sent in regular mail. And we never received it. And they're like, oh, well, it's been processed and approved and you should have it. And so we're like, we never received it for sure. And like the weird thing about it is like, I've never really had mail get lost. I think with the Canada Post system, probably just like USPS or, whatever in your country, like your government's postal system, they probably don't lose a whole lot of things truly, especially government mail. So I'm like, okay, so you never got it. So I told him, like, he talked to her and she told him this and said, reapply, whatever. So I said, did you report it lost or stolen? Is she going to do something? So then he's like, I don't know. So he had to call back and like, basically ensure they would be canceling that. So now that process is happening. But I'm like, who's been living as you for the last year? So yeah, God help me. Does that puffy acrylic yarn that we used to have in our hair as bows still exist? Found it on eBay, but so expensive. Puffy acrylic yarn in your hair as bows. Oh yeah, I know that stuff. It's like thick. It's got kind of a very soft feel to it. Like it's sort of softly plied, and it would have maybe like thread around it kind of loosely. I remember I had like a pink one when I was a kid. I don't see that particular stuff very often, oddly. Like definitely not packaged how I remember it when I was a kid, like for hair, I think. I haven't really seen that in a long time. I think if I were to liken it to like what kind of yarn I would describe it as this like bulky weight, loosely spun, bright colors, probably made from a synthetic, probably something like a viscose or a nylon. Yeah. Oh no. Oh, well, that's cool. You got the passport that day. That's awesome. Yeah, my passport, I just renewed it. And I got it in like a couple of weeks, and apparently I just read something that in Canada now, if it takes longer than 30 days for them to process your passport, that it's free. They refund you the fee. And so, yeah, it's thick yarn, Mary Ellen. And so I was like, okay, well, maybe this reprocessing of this like will happen a little more consistently. Look how pretty this writing is from 1889. And also the paper, it's so like delicate, you know, so pretty. So the reason I tore this apart, this had a really fragile dying kind of spine that we'll reuse, but I also want to make it a little bit thicker, the spine. Yes, like Cindy Brady, absolutely. I absolutely know the stuff that you're talking about, and I have not seen that in a long time. It's so cute. All right, let's go through here and see what I might want to keep in this journal. The American News Company, 39 and 41 Chambers Street. Oh, this is such nice paper. It's really delicate. I think I'm not going to try to save the signatures because this is just, it's just falling apart. Yeah, seriously, that is a great background, isn't it? Yeah. 1889 paper. Gorge, gorge. So if I'm going to set that aside for this. Oh, but then like, look at these. Just pretty paper. It's got like a coffee stain on the side of the book. It's so grungy. It's very weak paper. It's definitely the kind of thing I think if you folded it, like if you were to dog ear, you know, it would crack, I'm sure. Yeah, definitely cracked. See? That's one thing to consider if you're making junk journals. You just want to be careful of the papers that you choose, because as people are leafing through, if you've got a really, you know, fragile paper, it could typically break here. So you'll want to like reinforce it, not just maybe with tape to tape them together, but you might want to actually seal it to another piece of paper because, yeah, totally, Christine. I have not seen that stuff in so long. But it's cute, and I love the idea that you're like, you know, looking for it and maybe thinking of putting it in your hair, because that would be adorbs. Okay, so let's fold up all these, and then I will at least have put aside this project for something for this book. And then maybe I'll cut a spine for it as well. It's been nice. I've been watching Priscilla at Release the Craftins lives lately, and that's been fun. Lots of people have been going live lately, which has been nice. I also need to work on making some collage boards, I think. My scraps are yet again just kind of getting out of hand. Okay, got all those backgrounds folded. And I'll just use those as pages, I think, in the book that I'm going to make with this. I'm fine with that. Oh, I love these. These are really good pages. I'm not trying to brag or anything. It's just, I think when you make something out of your own aesthetic, you know, like you just like it because that's why it's your aesthetic. It's your thing. And I like these. I also realized I just really love handwriting. So many people's handwriting. And I also had fun with these Victorian cards, the hand with the roses. I thought it was a nice little draw into the pages. Oh, thank you, Mary Ellen, thank you. Yeah, that one's one of my favorite, I think, pages. And then this one too, just, I don't know, it like does something to my brain that makes me happy. I'm going to fold this one this way to just keep it, I think, as a center portfolio or not portfolio, yeah, portfolio in the signature. Okay. This one. Yeah, the carbonized leaves, right? Oh, they're so good. This toad is so good. Toads are the underappreciated little paper goblins, right? It's always butterflies and birds, but toads, you don't see them much. So we needed toads. All right, so that will give me some good papers. And then I have to decide, is this the book for this or not? It's a little smaller, so I will lose a little bit from these. But I will make the decision. I'll kind of go and look at it later and see. I might pick another book. But I do want to prep this book because it's kind of I've been doing this little bit of planning lately where I'm like, let's try to use up like first an old book, then some fabric, then an old book, then some fabric. So this could go into a fabric cover or possibly this, but we're not there yet. I need from my spine materials. He needs a googly eye. Oh my gosh. And a hat. Yes, right? I have to say, I fully support your joy of googly eyes because, yeah, this one maybe would be good. Although I do like the thickness of that one too. Let me just feel the book. Yeah, these ones want to be together. When I'm creating spines, I try to think about how thick the book itself is. I don't know, it just makes me feel like there's more consistency when you do it like a spine that matches the book a little bit. All right, let's set these over here. Then, these out of the way for a minute. And I think I want to go about a 1.5 inch spine. Yeah, that would be good. Make sure we're straight. We are. There we go. Dinner time. Okay, thanks, Christine. I hope you have a lovely dinner. So I was excited this morning to watch I think I told you guys that I love this YouTube channel called Ants Canada 7.5. So I was so excited to watch his video this morning because he releases videos on Sunday mornings for me. And it was actually like good and sad at the same time. So like I was looking at the video he posted last week where like, or no, it was a post on his community page where if you're unaware, is he's a Filipino Canadian YouTuber. His name is Mikey Bustos. He's an entertainer. He's a singer. He has other channels, but I mostly watch him for his Ants Canada channel, which is like an ant hobbyist, like ant keeping. And he's built these giant vivarium ecosystems. They're like giant tanks, but they're not about animal husbandry. They're about like experimenting and observing nature, right? Creating kind of a faux natural setting. And I believe he lives in the Philippines in like the middle of the rainforest. And he has this beautiful home. So he films these really great videos. If you've never seen them and you like nature documentary, he's like me, like we're the kids of like the David Attenborough generation when like, or like Lorne Greene's Wild Kingdom, you know, like when nature shows were truly about like nature and the joy of nature before it became about like, you know, the Werner Herzog version of like nature, like predators and climate crisis and all of that, right? So like for me, that's like a really powerful thing about how nature shows have changed. Like they were so inspiring to me as a kid, but now they're, I think, real and important and good documentaries, but they don't do the same thing for my heart that they used to. So that being said, he is trying to kind of bring that back a little bit, and he does so successfully. And so he made a video this morning though, because he had posted a community post. So I just gotta grab some paper. Wait, come to me, paper. Let's see if I have something in here that would be a nice paper edge for this. Although we do still have this, which we can still use on here actually. But I don't want to have Mark Seaworth there. I'm just going to look at this. So anyway, so his post was about how he was planning like another vivarium eventually, and people just went off on him, like saying things like, what are you doing, you know, this is clickbait, like you haven't even set up your current vivariums, you know. But like, holy cow, people were so critical. And I'm like, how can you even be mean to him? He's like the nicest kind of person, and like he's also just really I don't know, like he's a great educator. I think he takes his time and he learns a lot and he's honest and all these things, but people are being so mean. I was struggling with it. But he did a really good video kind of addressing all of the rumors and the drama and all of that, and it kind of was like, okay, maybe people will be okay with that now. What do I see for this spine? This would be cool. So maybe I will stick with this, but we want to cover Mark Seaworth. And I think I can probably make it, I've got kind of this perfect stuff that I can use, I think, to make that a solid block of color. Put that back in there. Okay. Where is it? I've got gold, but I've also got bronze. Where's my gilded wax? Bronze, silver. Where is my gilding wax? Oh, here it is. It was here the whole time. Goodness. I keep getting these ads for, that one's not the right color, for different kinds of organization systems for your desk, like that have all these little compartments in them for putting things like ink and all that in. And I'm like, what are you trying to say to me, internet? Okay, let's see if we can cover up. I think because it's the right color, but I think because it's embossed, it's still going to be there. Yeah, so that's okay. I think I'm going to put something else on top of it, though. Oh, it's really pretty. Okay. Now to think, what would be a nice cover image for this? I don't want to punch anything out of the kit. This might be kind of a project that I don't completely work on tonight. We'll see. I do have, no, that's not right. It needs to be grungier, whatever it is. Okay, I'm going to just pause on this and move on to something different for a little bit. I got to think about it. Tim Holtz. Okay. Yeah. Yes, there's a toad in my digital kit. Yes. He is. Where is he? Here he is. Little pink toad. Yeah, there's more Tim Holtz coming. Yeah, I mean, I think the thing is, like, none of it's going to become available because it's all sold out. Like, ASAP, right? Like as soon as Simon Says Stamp or whatever get their hands on it, which is right away because they're, I think, the preferred vendor, no one else can get it, right? I think Americans could probably get it, but I don't think we'll be able to get it in Canada because my scrapbook store contacted her supplier and they said that they told her that it's not being remade, the paper. Like, I don't know if the other stuff maybe, but yeah. Okay, hydration. Now, I had a little studio event today, which is Tuesday 10 related, that it had a little tumble. My basket got over full and a bunch of papers just fell out the front of it because I got a little, I got too daring and I crammed a bunch of the jelly print papers into the Tuesday 10 bin. And then the whole bin was like, no, blah, and it just like threw everything everywhere. So I think that's my sign that I need to like use some stuff. So I think what I'd like to do is, oh, there's some of that lovely Mary Ellen wallpaper. Yummy. I want to decide what to do with some of this stuff. I need to begin, I think, with a paper that I would want to make like a folio with. I feel like making a folio. These are Vintage Bambi. I think you're right about Tim. Yeah, for sure. I think it's going to spark creativity. It is for me. It's making me go like, I need to just make my own stuff and stop being a baby. I mean, I don't use it as much as a lot of other people do. I just hope no one like loses their groove. But yeah, I really hope it just creates more creativity. These are pages from a Flow magazine. Oh, that I can use, I think. So much in here. And I've got all these bird book pages and plant book pages. This is why it tumbled. Because these I shoved in there and I should have just put them in my box of like papers that I have that are related to like other things. So yeah. Oh, hi Sue. I didn't see you. Yeah, maybe I will use some of these for folios. Paper cameo paper. I also have a bunch of Frog and Toad. they're really cute pages. Look at this owl. My goodness, it's adorable. I just have a lot of different things going on here. Mixed Beasts. This is a fun book. Children's book. I have been looking for art pages. I need those. These are old photo pages. Waiting a bit can be very effective. Home freed. Okay. So I would say, well, all of that is lovely. It's not exactly what I need. Yeah, very cool book. But the wallpaper might be. Maybe a piece. Yeah, let's begin with this piece. Then we're gonna just make this work. Okay, so this piece will be number 1, and then I will grab another paper. We'll set these to the side, and I need like another kind of less busy paper. Or possibly more busy paper. Franken paper. That's the answer when you can't figure out what you want to do. All right, so this I am going to tear down to here. And then here. Okay. I want to get the same size roughly, except maybe a little shorter. I'll go under the stitching here that I stitch these together with. And then, yeah, Franken paper is great. It's been really a great way for me to be like, okay, what am I going to do with all of these bits of like folded over trimmed bits from when I need to make the paper a little smaller. It's really a good way to use that up. So let's just cut right at the stitching. Perfect. Now keep all these bits because that's going to be part of the fun, I think. So now we have this and this. And I think what I'm going to do is use this way, and then we're going to fold that in a little bit. And we're going to make this corner here round. And that will be a pocket on this wallpaper. I think like a tuck pocket. So that can go like that. Hold on. I'm going to try to do something a little bit different. There, or on this side. Maybe on this side, I'm going to line that up. Then that could come out like that. I just want to do like a different kind of a folio. I've got so many different kinds of folios. It's got to be able to fit in here. So it's got to stay, yeah, that, if I'm going to keep it this length, it's got to stay there. Okay, so let's do that. Let's just keep it exactly where it is. And then we're going to glue this down right along this edge and then the bottom. Trying to create a folio that like it works differently than a normal folio. That's got to get straightened a little. Okay, now I'm going to also trim this just a little titch more, but with the paper trimmer. Okay, so now that can go there and that can go there. Good. And then I will round these corners with my 1/2 inch rounder. And I'm also like going to just leave the back side of this as is because I think it looks kind of cool. I need to just straighten this. This is not straight. Don't fight me, paper, even though you'll probably win. Okay. There we go. That feels better. Yeah, that's turned better now. All right, then let's open this up again, lay it down. Brown paper, brown paper. I just need a strip of brown. Glue stick. Oh yeah, I know collage boards can be a little bit tricky. I know I struggled with them at first too, and you know what I think has kind of helped me to like make collage boards that I like? It's like keeping the colors a little similar. Like I did an exercise one day where I took out, I think, like, you know, the Roy G. Biv Binacle, Like for each color, I took out like, you know, enough papers to make a red one, an orange one, yellow, green, etc. And then I just used all my scraps, and I would just go like, oh, that's red, it goes on red. That's yellow, it goes on yellow. And I ended up making these collage boards that I just really liked a lot better. Well, thank you so much, Mary Ellen. I hope you have a lovely night. But yeah, like the colors really helped. And then doing neutral ones also, I really enjoyed how they looked. There we go. That is more what I'm going for. Okay, so now we have this photo and we need to create things to make it interesting. So we're doing that with those Tuesday 10 papers that I need to like seriously use. So let's grab this too, because this will also be a really good way to do that. So this one, I think we're going to just cut a pocket. That. And then because that's bent, I'm going to take that off of there and we'll use it for something else. And then I want to make this a little bit maybe smaller. Yeah, it's kind of, well, we'll see, because I'm going to cover up a big part of it. I think with this bird from The Tale of Tommy Nobody. Yeah. Oh, the new kit. Yes, it is. Let me show it to you. Where did I put it? Oh, it's over here. So the theme is essentially a red palette, and it's all like, it's my own designs that I just came up with. It's a lot of my own drawings, a lot of vintage things that I have, you know, design things as well. Like this one, if you're familiar with the rusty carbonized papers I made some time ago, it's called Palette Rosa. And for everyone, it's on Etsy, and it's also for all the digital subscribers, it's there on Patreon for you to pick up. So it's these fun papers. It is 8 pages, and then these are the backgrounds, so 8 backgrounds as well. I'll just kind of quickly give you a little preview for anyone who didn't see them, but I really like how they turned out. So just a quickie so I'm not repeating myself too much and making you guys want to kick me out. All right, so let's just tear out this little bird, and it's going to become part of this. Hi, Jan. Nice to see you. Okay, put our little bird here. Then I need to find my ink. I've been using a much darker ink. Yeah, no problem, Sue. I'm happy to show them to you. I like how they turned out. They really kind of made my heart sing when I finished them up. I was like, yes, this is exactly what I was going for. So, good, good. I've been using a much darker ink for the books I'm working on right now, and I'm just like gonna swap it out so that I don't make this too dark. Where is my... That little pink ribbon has been hanging around, and like it just needs to get used for something. So let's just ink up little Tommy Nobody here. So it's my second day seeing a little possum outside when I was walking, and I'm so happy. They're the cutest little guys ever. Oh, I love them. Let's put that here. Before long, the baby birds are ready to learn to fly. Okay, leave that. I don't think I need those words. And this, let's give it a little vaulted kind of pocket. go. Yeah, and that can go there. Okay. Let's trim these threads a little bit. Then maybe another pocket with the same paper, and we'll just trim it down a little. Thanks. It's funny, I sat for like a long time by myself like a couple weeks ago just making little folios and realizing like how much I just love making them. Like, I just like, you know, you can take so many different twists and turns with them. You're like, oh, I'm gonna make a pocket, and I'm gonna do this. Like, you can just do all these different kind of things. And it's also a super good way to use scraps too. I find I use up a lot of stuff when I make them. And I think, where's my gold marker? Just gonna go around the edge with my gold Posca here. And maybe let's give it a little smudgy gold. Fun, fun, fun. And then, do I have some words? Let's just put a pile of words right there. The fir tree and the bramble, that's pretty. Oh, it's too big for this, but we'll keep it there. A plump toadstool. Songbirds, that could be nice. We could put songbirds on there, make it a little smaller though. I need to cut more word snippets. It's a good bedtime activity. Okay. Although tonight I need to, my daughter wants me to put some fun color in her hair for tomorrow. Just nothing permanent, just a temporary little color. Oh, Joann's. How's it going in Joann's? I heard it's a lot. Like, people are waiting in line for a long time. Where did the songbirds thing go? Oh, there it is. It's stuck to my glue stick. Yeah, I'm really sad to see Joann's close. And I'm not going to get to go again because I'm not traveling to the US right now. But oh well. I'm so sad that it's closing now. We're just losing too many of our fun stores, you know. I heard that a lot of folks like had to wait quite some time in line to get stuff, and but well, it's good that you didn't have to. Good. All right, let's put a little book spine on there, and that will give that a nice lift. So I'm just going to stitch this. Be right back. Sorry, that took a little longer than I needed to. My glue is not fully dry yet, so that was sliding around on me. There we go. You use restraint. Yeah, I have a hard time using restraint in Joann's. Oh, it's so good. So much good fabric. Okay, so that one I think we'll do a little vaulted kind of opening. So it's got a little thumb hole. Then maybe I will cut this one out. Well, good on you for your restraint. I definitely love going there. Last time I went there, everything Tim Holtz was on sale actually for like half off. So I spent a small fortune. That's probably where like all my Tim Holtz came from. Yeah, I'm sad to lose the brick and mortar stores. They're so important. And you know, I've heard a lot of really good perspective from even small fabric store owners who I think, you know, I forget who it was, but there's one on YouTube who has an Instagram. She does a lot of reels about her small business as a fabric store, and she was talking about how she's had a lot of customers come in and say, oh, you must be so happy, like the competition is gone. And she's like, no. She's like, my clientele are very different than Joanne's clientele. It's like you know, they're gonna want like very discounted prices, and I can't do that as a small buyer with a curated collection of, you know, pretty or fancy kind of like fabrics. You know, obviously everything kind of serves a purpose, right? So she was saying like, you know, we're not ready for that kind of onslaught. Like I'm not going to be able to supply, you know, the people who want to make their grandkids those fleece quilts. Like I'm not going to have fleece printed in 300 different, you know, patterns. And people are so used to being like, okay, I'm going to go into Joann's and I'm going to buy like a Monsters Inc. fleece and make a Monsters Inc. blanket because that's my grandson's favorite, you know, thing. Like, you know, and it's sad. It's like, I hate whenever we lose those handmade, you know, the ability to do our craft, our art. Just a lot of layers of no good. Oh, you got the distressed watercolor crayons. Nice. I've used those a little bit recently. I've been playing with them. Okay, songbirds. Let's get you glued on. Okay, that there. I'll leave those long threads. They're just fun. So that's a fun front for that. And then I like this actual wallpaper. That's really fun as a background. So I'm going to leave that there. I think it will be really cool. Because we've got a bit of a bird theme going on, I can now make a few decisions about these pages. I don't think I want any of those birds. Where is my bird book? There it is. Actually, there's a few things that I can use here. So let's think. We've got pockets on this side like that. I want to do, I think, maybe like we've got a tuck over here. Need something tall for that. And then something like small pockets to go on here. And also, I just want to fold this both ways like that. And my bone folder is like mysteriously missing. I know it's in here. It's just probably like behind other things. I don't know what happened, but we're going to go paintbrush, bone folder. And yeah, I totally get what you mean about like not wanting to buy things unless you can kind of look and feel, right? There's a real benefit to being able to do that with some things, especially like fabrics and stuff. Most of the fabric I buy is like quilting cotton. And And so I'm not as concerned, but like if I was buying something to make garments like stretch, especially stretch wear, if it has anything synthetic in it, like I really want to be able to see if I like how it feels, because I've gotten real picky about what I put on my skin anymore. I'm a real stickler for like cotton and like natural fibers now. This I would like to put in here, but it's a little too wide, so let's think of the right way to use this. It'd be nice to have that tab coming out there. But I don't want to make another flip on a flip, but I might use this as a pocket on this side. This is one of these things that I really struggle to use as anything other than paper, because I want every single piece of it visible. But I'm trying to get out of my... Yeah, you got rid of all your synthetic stuff. Me too. I got rid of it all. I'm only just, I don't know. Maybe as I'm getting a little older, things just feel weird on my skin, or like I feel too hot or uncomfortable. I don't know. I just can't deal. Okay, let's glue that down. So now we've made a pocket with this, and I like that. And then we can make it pretty. Let's use a little paper cameo on here. And then obviously I can use these for those small pockets too. So let's cut out some of those and back them. And as I back these, I'm just going to back them on like a large book page that has a blank back, because I don't want it to be too thick. Because with folios, when you're adding, you know, a few pages to them, or even if it's just like a 4-page folio like I'm making, it can be, you know, it's going to be a few pages thick. So like anything you add to it, you want to try to keep it a little thin. Hydration. Okay. These are meant to be tags, but I'm gonna cut them into square shapes. Still remember, like, it's been a couple of years since I printed this particular kit, and I accidentally printed it on thin paper, and so I've just had all these bits of it. Oh yeah, you're still getting polyblend things. I know, it's no fun. My mother-in-law is a lovely, wonderful person, and I swear her love language is buying clothing for people, and which I find interesting. I've never in my life bought clothing for anyone, really. I remember this years ago, a friend of mine, her mom and her dad, like, my friend has a real sense of humor, so it was Valentine's Day, and my friend's dad, like, her parents are probably in like their 50s, mid-50s at the time, and she's like, it's Valentine's Day, and my dad just bought my mom an outfit for Christmas, for Valentine's Day. So he went to like one of those like shops that I think, you know, typically make clothing for, I would say women of probably an older woman who has a style that's like more, I'd say, functional than style. And the thing about her mom is like, a very style conscious person, right? Like, so it's kind of like, imagine someone, what's the store? Oh, it was Northern Reflections. So I don't know if Americans know about Northern Reflections, but it was a store in Canada that made really like country style kind of clothes. Like, so like, like mom jeans with the big pockets and like a lot of florals, like kind of vomity florals, like and then like sweatshirts with like a cottage on the front, airbrushed trees, like just all these weird clothes. So my friend's dad bought the mom the whole outfit for Valentine's Day. He was so proud of himself, and she was horrified. Like, she would never wear this. And she's like, why did you buy me clothes? Okay, these lilacs are lovely. You're right. But yeah, I always laugh when people buy each other's clothes, because I think about this story. I mean, I think it's fine to buy like a scarf or something like that for someone, but I don't know about like buying a whole outfit. I don't think I'd risk that. I think this one would be good here. So we're going to trim it down a little bit. Keep that pearly bit in the middle. Yep. And then we'll no worries about spelling. But tell me if, like, how would you feel like if your spouse bought you an outfit? Like, I don't think my husband would ever try to buy me clothes like outside of a t-shirt or something, but not like fitted, like, because it was like a whole outfit, like a blouse and pants and like a vest jacket thing. Love. Let's do, where'd that little, we're going to purple. Did I decide that's going to stay over here? I think I did. So I think I'll put this one here on this side. And we'll do 2 of these pockets. I'm going to do them in opposite directions. I forgot to ink this one. God, please. I forgot to ink. Okay, let's ink this one. And we'll try to do a little forgiveness inking there. Okay. There we go. Oops. Put that one here. So that tackles those 2 little pockets, and then we'll press that down. And now we need to figure out this side, but I want to go over here first. I think I want to make that like a little flip out right there. So I've got that little tab, and then it will be really present on the front there. I think I'll round round that top as well. Oh, that's awesome, Jan. It sounds like you've won, like, the partner lottery. I often think about that from the conversations that we've had. It's good. Although I can say that my husband is definitely a really good gifter. He really gets me, and he's very, very thoughtful. So I'm pretty lucky. Now I think I'm going to come in with a bit of ink all around here to give this a little more of an aged feel. Okay. Do the same on the inside here. Yeah. Well, my mother-in-law is adorable, but she likes to do a lot of like discount store shopping. And she's like, she likes to buy for everybody. And Oh goodness. I don't really wear animal prints, but she's brought me many animal prints, and I always feel like I'm taking out like the day's catch or something. I'm like trying to figure out what to do with these animal prints. Just like, okay, thank you. All right, so now this is sorted out. We're going to need something big for in there. And now we have to think about this dynamic. So we've got this bit here that will be flat, and then this bit that will be able to move. And then this will go actually this way. So when you open that up, this can be like writing space, and I think I want to do kind of a free-form pocket that comes in that way. Do I have anything? I should. In this stack of paper. Maybe some of that. I don't think that really goes, actually. But some of these. These are actually what I need to try to use. These, not those, but like this stuff. Then I have some color birds. Yeah, and that would be appropriate, I think. This one, the catbird. Journal covers, yeah. Animal print. The wild jungle adventure. But it's okay. She's like so cute. All right, let's bring this down to just say catbird. I don't want the rest of the verbiage there. And then this needs to get glued down because this paper's thin. Okay. I got the most beautiful, beautiful giant Asian pears today. Oh, I can't wait to cut them tomorrow morning for breakfast. Just thinking about what I'm making the kids for their lunch tomorrow, what to put in their bento boxes tomorrow. Okay, so I want this to be kind of a free form. Maybe a little more of an angle though. A little less, actually. There. Let's erase this line. So, down here, and where is my book? I keep burying my glue book. And I need it. Okay. Yeah, so that can go there. And obviously, I think this needs a little more grunging. This is really like, not exactly what I'm looking for. Okay, let's go with some of this gentle spatter. Water. We need messes. That's what we need. Speaking of messes, I'm just thinking about my garden and the early messy stages of gardening, and that I need to get my seeds started. The messiest part of life. Not looking forward to it. Like a big giant mess. Do I do journaling? I do, yeah. In my last live, I actually showed my current journal. So I have a big journal that I can show you real quick for the year. And on Patreon, I do a monthly planning kit, and I'm using that in my journal to just kind of write random things down. But then I do a lot of writing, and I do a lot of embellishing with things that from Daphne's diaries that I buy because I can't, use them in my journals. So hold on, I'll show you. I wanted to challenge myself this year to do one big journal that had the whole year in it and not to get too excessive. So there's 12 signatures in this journal. I used flea market finds fabric from, is it Carol Holt? No, that's not right. This is called Flea Market Finds, this fabric. It is beauteous. I love it so much. It's like all the things that we love, right? Like ephemera, old pictures, tickets, all the things. So it makes me real happy. And then inside I kept it plain. This is like some quilt planning kind of fabric. And then, for the month of January, this is my kit. And then basically I have a few things like my to-do list. I put a tab at the top to come back to that page. And then I add pictures, me, my kids, and I do flip outs and things like that. So yeah, this is my big journal that I have. So just a few fun things that pop out here and there, and I'm really happy with how it's going so far because if I look at January and February together, they didn't get wildly out of control. They didn't get really fat. They stayed pretty good. And then I'm getting started here on March. This is my March kit. And yeah, I think we're doing pretty good. I've been actually using it and it doesn't feel overwhelming. So that is what I'm working on. And then I also have other things that I do, I document. I have a creative sampler book that I put a lot of stuff about the things that I've made in, and that's fun. I actually like that there. No, it needs to go on this spot that I sprayed, I think. Yeah, back here. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. That makes me much happier. It was a little too bright. Oh, you missed a live. I think if you're bored that my lives do get recorded. That one was a Patreon only one, which you have access to the recording. So you'll see more of my journal. I share it on Patreon because it's a smaller place to share my personal life a little more. All right, so that's there. Perfecto. Now we need a couple fun things to go here. And I think I might continue with this theme, with this paper. It's just so nice. So let's grab another strip of it. I feel kind of bad I'm not using it as it was intended, but scraps are scraps. They don't get to choose their fate. Just tear this white off here. Yeah, I'm happy to share all my stuff. Tomorrow is my first day back at work. I'm not looking forward to it. You know, when you've been off on vacation and you're kind of peeking at what's going on and you know what's coming, that's exactly what I'm experiencing today. I want to go back. In my next life, hopefully I am just, I don't know, independently able to just run around in the woods and do art and not have to work. But we all got to do it, right? Yeah. All right, now let's create the pockets for here. I like that one kind of in that shape, that kind of, it's like a little fun little shape like that. I get to make some fun, tall little ephemera for this, which will be a lot of fun. So that there, and then I think what I might do is create like a little tuck spot just with this little pearly frame. Yeah, that is a life goal. Hopefully we all get that lucky. Okay, so this, I think, yeah, I'm going to make it a full pocket and I'm going to keep that shape. How's it already 7:45? My goodness, I've been having fun here because time has flown. Glue bottle, don't fail me now. There we go. And we'll just give this a little bit of ink. Just make like a little foundation for that kind of a tuck spot that goes right like that, so you can have something tuck into it from above. Another way to do something a little more freeform. This needs another good fold. I need to find my bone folder. I'm going to go bananas without it here. How does one live without a bone folder? Palette knife. I will play with that later. I'll stick it in my paper press. Okay, so now we need to deal with this bit here, which I have, where's my brown paper? 1 second. Okay, so the giant reams of brown paper. Still working on using these up. For those of you unaware of the brown paper saga, oh, cute orange family, have a great night. Thanks for hanging out. My neighbor bought a stroller and it came with all this brown paper. And it was a really windy day. And I was like, oh, I can't let this blow over the neighborhood. And then I'm like, why would I waste this paper? So now I have so much of this that, yeah, we are going to be using it for a little while. Okay, let's just get a nice strip of this. Do I want it to overrun that, or do I want to, yeah, why not? Yeah, kind of like that. And then I want to create like a purposely torn wonky edge on both ends. That's a little too tall still. There we go. Okay. And that will kind of cover that up and create writing space. So let's glue that down. Every time I say glue that down, I think of Treasure Books, Natasha from Treasure Books, and her hilarious like personality and her all of her voices that she does, and she says like glue it down. Like I think of her every time I say glue this down. She is so funny. I really like her a lot. Okay, yeah, that's good. And then we need a little something. Now it can't be all the way across. It's got to be right here. And I'm thinking too big. We need a little bit. I know I have small things. 8 million small things. It's a little label. Oh, it's too big. whenever I'm looking for what I need, I can never find it because I have way too much stuff at the moment. What about that? And we trim it. Yeah. So we use a part of it here, as so. Yep. Okay. Oopsie. So I'm going to take part in this little art, like online art workshop thing over the next few days. BB Henry is doing. It's called BB Bash. It's like a little art journaling workshop. Shell from Shell's Creative Chaos and Mary Ellen from Red Parrot and I are, I think, all going to take part in it. One of them found it and let me know in our group chat. So today I attended the little kickoff Zoom for it. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, if you're interested, that's happening. Maybe we'll put the other half up here on the background. That would look cute and kind of break up that space. Another thing I like about making these kind of folios is like you can spend a whole lot of time on them, just making them more and more interesting and adding little bits here and there. They do take a while to make because it's kind of like making a whole journal signature, really. In some ways, or just a real busy folio. These are like the you know, very accent kind of folios that go in books. Okay. Now we need to do this page. This page feels kind of too disjointed for me, so I think I want to do something that mostly covers up this bottom paper, but not completely, but mostly. Oh, that's nice. That might be what goes over here. Is it skinny enough? No, maybe not. That might need to go. I don't want it there because there's already a bird there. Over here, perhaps. Yeah, that would be good there. Let's find my ruler. This is the bobolink bird. Put it on that fun grungy paper that I sprayed earlier. I was planning to be done at 8 o'clock, which is in 10 minutes, but I think I might go until I finish this folio. Unless, of course, it becomes this excessively long process, but I don't think it will. I think we'll be okay. And then, punch a hole here from that. Yeah, I'm going to stitch around this. But actually, before I do that, I need to straighten it. Because, yeah, it has seen some things and it has gone a little wild. That's better. And also, do we want to put, Actually, I like that better. Let's maybe do that instead. There we go. Just going to, where's my palette knife? It's going to kind of just scratch it a little and get the excess bits off. There we go. Okay. Yep, that can go in there. That's still open. Good, good. And I want to use that label, or that, the fir tree and bramble, and the bramble that I saw earlier. I'm going to put it maybe right there. Now let's ink it a little. All right, so we got to go back to construction and we got to tackle this page. I was avoiding it. I was. This one is really nice. I wonder how I could use it possibly to cover in nice colors. It would go with that, I think. Let's try. This is the Whistling Swan. Oh yeah, Book Spine is so good. Just something about it that just makes me really happy. So grungy and fun. Saw some pretty swans actually day before yesterday with the kids when I was out. We went on a walk, and there is a lovely nesting pair of swans that hang out at this park that we go to. And they were there. I was surprised to see them. I guess they overwinter. Well, yeah, they overwinter, but I guess they stay out on the lake. I don't know what the swans do in the snowy weather and the real cold. I guess they just hunker down. There's a lot of mysteries about birds that I want to research when time allows. Like, I want to know more about the life of seagulls. Seagulls are fascinating, and I'd love to know what they do in the winter. And like, also, I think there was this book a long time ago. I remember the title of it was like, Where Do Seagulls Go to Die, or something. So years ago, I was kayaking in my hometown, and there's this little island that you can kayak out to. It's quite far, but we kayaked out there, and I answered that question because that's where the cormorants and the seagulls go to die, because there were so many of them there. I couldn't get over it. Like not like carcasses, but like bones, like the bones of the seagulls, the leftover, you know, like old age type seagulls, I guess. nothing had hurt them or anything. They just passed. Okay, let's give that a, do we want to give that a, thumb hole or no thumb hole? Maybe a little one, like just a little titch of one, like that. And then ink. This whole time I'm sitting here, I'm just looking at this little word snippet. Little gnomes. Sea eagles? Oh, that's so cute. I'm taking my kids to Chuck E. Cheese over the cold winter, and my son calls it the mouse party. He's like, can we go to the mouse party? I love when kids make names for things. It's really fun. Okay, so there's that, and then I think the back of this we can maybe decorate it a little, but not put a pocket, I don't think. Oh, that's awesome. As above, so below. Oh, I like that. But I don't know. That paper, there's something about this paper that's just, it's too much, and I don't know what to do about it. I'm thinking I might grunge it a little. Boop. Then take this. It doesn't really hurt the red though, does it? It does not tone it down. A little bit, but not a lot. Option 2, which I think will work, is a little of this bronze, because I was doing this earlier. Yep, it does what I want. I was doing this earlier on some like very kind of louder wallpaper that didn't go with the theme I was using. I just used a little of this bronze, and it just made it feel like older and also more magical because it's bronze. Take a little touch of it maybe down here too. There. Okay. This stuff smells like so weird, but I also enjoy the smell of it. I don't particularly try to smell it, but I have this weird thing about it. I just like the smell of it. I'm like, what is wrong with me? But I like the smell of that stuff. Let's take that little bit too much texture off the bottom because it'll be a little too bulky. Yeah, I'm going to just throw stitches in the bottom of that. 1 sec. Okay. Stay. As above, so below. I just like that. That's good. Yeah, and the copper did what I wanted it to. Okay, now we've got pockets, pockets, pockets. Over here, oh yeah, this has to go this way. Pocket, pocket, and now this. Okay, so this, I think, somehow I want to put something here, I think, to just make that less of what it is. And I think I'm going to use this. I need to run a ruler into that tuck spot to just understand the depth of it. Okay, yeah. So we have that there. That's the depth of that. glue book. I wasn't sure I was going to spend most of the night making a folio, but I know once I start making one, like, they become a thing. That we just gotta keep on going. Okay, so that's been glued, but we'll tuck it under here. Fold it over. Oh, nope, she's upside down. Of course she's upside down. Hee hee hee. Right there. Oh, that's better already. That makes me much happier. Okay. Then okay. This all just needs to be grungier. A little bit. Coffee. Spatter. Good. Dry. Just picking up a bit of color with that fun piece of paper. All right. Okay. So we have pocket. Those need cards in them. This is a little flip out. This is going to flip over here. This is a pocket writing space that goes over. Tuck spot, pocket, side tuck, pocket. This flips this way. Pocket. This is a tuck spot. Okay, so there's lots going on in here. Let me see. Do I have something? Yeah, right there. Sorry. I want a round journal card in here, in one of these. And I'm just going to ink the back of this clock. Yeah, okay. If I want that in the front, maybe. That might be kind of fun. But I also like it as in here. But it could, would it go a little too deep? Maybe that's a little big. Yeah, it would get lost maybe. Too narrow for there. So I think I'm going to put that right in the front there. I just like that little clock in there. That's cute. And then we need another journal card. And I would like to use something maybe a bit different than what we've got. Or possibly a tag. We found a good image for a tag. So that's a cute squirrel. That could go in one of the pockets. That's good. Here. That's nice too. Yeah, one folio. It's amazing how much you can get to go into those folios. All right, let's make a few little bits here. I don't think I found what I need though for a tag. Actually, you know what I should do? I could grab, one sec. Sorry for that. I just had to grab a couple things. So I actually have this tag that I already made that I think would go really well in the front of there. So that's that. Now, over here, I'd probably do a tall skinny tag, but then for these little guys and the big guy, we need something else. So I'm going to use these flowers. Flowery paper for that top one anyhow. Okay. This probably needs to get a little bit smaller because it can't override this or this. Yeah, I'd go a little smaller on this one edge. Just a touch. There we go. And then I want to round the corners of this. My desk has become a complete calamity. I'm not putting things away. Let's do that. Okay. Oops. Just going to round these corners. Put that back. All right, I see this little bit of old cello tape here. It's just hanging around on my desk, which means we should use it up. Okay. To the enchanted wood. It's fun. And that one can go here, I think. Is it too tall or is it okay? Let's see. Do we see it around the back? Nope, not really. Okay. Let's stand this up for a second. No, it's fine. Okay, so that's got that one sorted. Now, I'm going to go in this pocket and open it up. Do I have any others? This one maybe too. Just give it a little slide with the ruler. And then over here, these are just little tuck spots. I'm not too concerned about them. Yeah, everything else is fine. All right. So, my friends, I would love to keep going. I really would. But I have to be mindful that I've got kiddos and I got to get ready for school tomorrow. So, this is what we mostly made tonight is this folio. So, 2 pockets. Started with a simple piece of wallpaper. Open it up. Page 1, we have this fold out of this folder. And then this. And it's also a pocket. A journal card, paper, tuck spot, pocket, tuck spot, that flips this way, pocket, fun label. We're going to put a tall tag in there. This goes this way. I got to put something in here, and then something tall in there. And then that will flip that way. And then we close, and I typically leave the back side of my folio just, blank, or I might put like brown paper there for interest and then something up at the top. So that is it for me for tonight. I thank you so much for hanging out with me for this little, my first like public YouTube, crafting session live here. Nothing exploded. We're all alive. It's good. So I will talk to you all again. And, yeah, I'd love to see you in, my next live. So come on over whenever you see me go live. I usually, on Patreon, I go live on Sunday nights. And sometimes I'll probably come live on YouTube, generally. I think this was a fun experience, so I'll probably do it again. Have a great night. Bye for now. I'm going to dislodge you from this thing and then say bye again. Bye-bye.